Hi. The purpose of this videotape is to tell you about the new NC2000-2 Millennium. This unit has many extra added features that were not available on previous units manufactured by our company. The 2002/3 is really the latest innovation in bobbinless technology in a portable carpet binder anywhere in the world. The 2002, as well as its predecessor, the NC2000, has the ability not only to do carpet cove base, but also to do full room size area rugs. No machine existing anywhere in the world in a portable has that ability, to our knowledge. Let's talk about the 2002 and tell you about some of the features, the new extra added features it has over its predecessor. The first primary feature is we have added a hand wheel or a balance wheel, so that when you wish to raise or lower the needle bar, the wheel is on the outside of the body of the machine, and it is no longer necessary for you to put your hand underneath the guard and work this way. It's a little more convenient. Another added feature is the extra wide stabilizer bar, which gives the unit even more stability on the ground. We accomplish that by lengthening our left main frame with the rug glides on it. The 2002 also has added to it a system in the back where your needle thread tension goes to remove the dust and dirt that would accumulate on your needle thread before it reaches your tension unit. Now let's get into the machine itself and its abilities. Let's talk first about the folder on the 2000-2 Millennium. The folder that comes on this unit accommodates 3/4 inch cotton or 7/8 inch poly. Some people call it 13/16, others call it 3/4, but accommodates standard size poly and the 3/4 inch cotton with the same folder. Another advantage of this folder that comes on the 2002 is its ability to accept serging tape. Serging tape is a tape made out of 100% cotton, which has a cotton backing, and serging tape works beautifully on this unit, as it does on our other bobbin units. But what makes it even nicer on this unit is the stitch formation that closes the wraparound serging on the edge of your carpet is a straight stitch. So very little of the stitch is seen. It's not as unsightly as a wide zigzag. So right there, you've got a big advantage. The rug glide on your NC2002 is built into the machine, just as it was on its predecessor. It's not something you have to add on or optional. Another feature or ability of the 2002 is its ability to accept the optional 1¼ inch wide tape folder. Using the 1¼ inch wide tape, which you must do with certain carpets due to the thickness of the carpet, gives the machine that much more versatility. This unit also has optional a 3-inch folder, which we make for it to accommodate both cotton and 3-inch sisal tape for that extra wide sisal Berber tape ability. Another thing that we bore in mind when we designed the Millennium was the slip-on cove base attachment. This attachment mounts easily to the new Millennium. There are 2 Phillips head type screws already in the base of your Millennium. You merely loosen these 2 screws, which I have already done with the Phillips head screwdriver. Take the cove base attachment, the optional CAM attachment, slip it on, It automatically lines up, and you merely lock the two screws in place to hold the cove base attachment to your new Millennium, as I've done right here. Then these two screws are loosened to accommodate the width of your carpet base or cove base. This attachment has the ability to go up to a maximum of 6-inch wide cove, from 3-inch to 6-inch. Now, the speed of the Millennium, and it's a very, very important thing to remember. The speed of the Millennium on carpet cove or cove base is 23 foot per minute. That means in 1 hour, this unit is capable of producing 1,380 or 60 linear feet of bound cove base, versus the bobbin portable machines, which are capable of 8 foot per minute. So it's 480 an hour versus 1380 or 60 an hour. That's almost 300% difference in carpet cove or cove base. That's why it would behoove you to bear in mind the carpet base attachment, because of the speed that the carpet base or cove base goes through on this unit. That speed and you holding that carpet base into the folder would really cut a groove in your hand due to the cement and the backing of most carpeting. Just to give you a quick bird's eye view of how quickly this unit pulls the cove base or carpeting through, let's remove the attachment, because I don't have any cut cove to show you. And we'll use this piece of carpet that I just cut off for this demonstration. Naturally, I have the same responsibilities with any binding machine to make sure that the carpeting is tucked against the mouth of the folder. My carpeting tucked. There's your 23 foot a minute, and this baby cooks. That is a 2-thread chain lock stitch.
Forget about it.
And if you take a look here, you can see that you don't see an unsightly zigzag stitch on top of your binding tape, but rather a nice, neat, straight stitch. Now let's talk about the importance of the folders, whether they be standard size 7/8 or the 1.25 inch, or for that matter, the 3-inch. The most important thing you have to remember with the Millennium, as with any portable binder, but the Millennium, due to its speed, is that the carpeting that you're going to bind must pass through the mouth of the folder with 0 resistance, just like this. If there is drag or resistance, this machine will kick the carpet away from the folder. Even though the machine has the ability to pull and sew any weight carpet you want, the folder is limited in its ability. The carpeting must pass through the folder before it gets to the machine. And if the folder is going to hold back on the carpeting because the carpet is too thick for the mouth of the folder, then you're going to have a problem. So I say to you, whenever you're going to bind any carpet that does not pass through your folder with 0 resistance, then bevel. Bevel so that it can pass through with no resistance. And the machine will not push the carpet away from the folder. It's like somebody trying to shove 18 pounds of food down your mouth all in one shot. Your body may be able to take it, your stomach may look forward to it, but your mouth can only open so wide. Same thing with attachments. So this machine, if she's forcing your carpet away from the folder, is telling you the carpet must be beveled. Especially when you deal with a thoroughbred. And the NC2002 is a thoroughbred. Its speed is just phenomenal. But there are a couple rules you have to follow, and the most important one is making sure that your carpeting passes through the mouth of your folder with very little resistance. Do this, raise my needle up. It's got to go through without drag. If there's going to be excessive drag, then the machine is going to push the carpeting away from your folder. Okay, this is an example of carpeting where the pile is too thick, and if I try and force it through the folder, the machine is going to want to push it away or not bind it properly. So what you must do with a carpet of this height a pile or higher is go to a beveling machine, such as the one that I'm going to show you right over here. This is an NC portable beveler. It can be used in one of two manners. Number one, it's on rollers here, and you can lay it on the floor and let it push it around an area rug, or you can put it on top of any table you want. Put it on, and fasten the carpeting. That means beveling. Now you can see the carpet is beveled, and it doesn't bevel it down to the backing. So if you decided that you wanted to butt it alongside of another carpet, such as this one, put the two of them together, and you've got that custom carpet look. There you go, and of course you'd seam it on the backside. And it's a beautiful look, and it also allows the beveled carpet to pass through the folder effortlessly. You get a beautiful bound job, and you don't have to fight to keep the carpeting inside the machine. Okay, let's bind the bad boy now that we've beveled it and see what we get. Put it up to the folder. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's go to the oiling of the machine. The NC2000-2 has an oiling system in a self-contained lube box, which you fill up in this hole. There's a side here, right here in this opening. Just take your oil, fill her up. She's full. Close it. A couple pumps here, and you'll feel the pressure, and it pumps the oil right through the main area of the machine. But please remember, there are areas outside of the machine that the internal oiling system does not cover. Example would be your rear puller assembly over here that you lift up and down. It wouldn't hurt to give it a couple drops of oil, which is shown in your instruction booklet. Overflow, there. And there's also, right here, two areas marked with red paint, here and here, that take care of the gearbox. 1 and 2. Okay. Basically, that's it. This outside area, that area back there. And I'm sorry, one other area that I forgot, I'll put a little light on the situation, is right here. This hole and this hole in the front feed wheel mechanism. Just a drop, once in a blue moon. What is a blue moon? Well, it's
Totally blue.
totally blue. It's not white, it's not green, it's not purple. It's blue.
Oh, nuts.
I don't know, once every few days, if you remember, a drop there and here and there wouldn't hurt it. And the other rear puller over here has got the holes too, and of course they're in the back so that they're easy to get to. There's a hole there, and another drop there, and you're done. So your feed wheels, front and rear, your rear puller lifting mechanism, and the eccentric box behind the machine where the two red dots are. One you can remember, and the rest of the machine is taken care of automatically when you hit that oil pumping system. The next area that we are going to go to will be the threading. All NC2000 Millenniums have the threading chart on the side belt cover of the machine. This is the threading for the front view, and this is the rear view, or the side view and the rear view. Let's go to those two areas, the needle and the looper on the bottom. The needle thread uses monofilament and large canisters. NC's code for those canisters is S8L. And the way we put a canister of S8L on your NC2000 is very simple. There's a wing nut on the bottom here. You loosen this wing nut like I'm doing right now, and you merely take your new spool of thread, which comes with a sock. This is our sock here. You mount the new spool of thread right here on your Millennium. You push the rod down and through into the hole and connect your wing nut on the bottom. Just that simple. Now I'll move this out of the way so you can see the rest of the threading, how easy it is. Once you come out of your S8L spool, you go through this rod and down. When you receive your Millennium, this rod will not be on the machine. It'll be left loose on the side. It'll be your responsibility. Put the rod in, turn it over the spool of S8L, and then lock the screw. The purpose of this rod is to guide the thread so it comes up with no resistance before it goes to the rest of the machine. If you do not put this rod on, you're going to have problems. Okay, so up the bottom of the hole, up through the top of the rod. Then we come down here and we go through this hole right here. Pull it through with the tweezer, which comes with your every NC2000. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get rid of this bottom thread that's in the way so you don't get confused. Okay, and then we go behind this felt here. Just slip the thread behind the felt. That's the felt that removes the dust from your needle thread. You'll see underneath this piece here shortly, when I tilt the machine forward, another hole, or a guide hole. Let me tilt the machine forward. Mark, just hold the camera there. See that hole right here where I'm pointing up with the tweezer? We go through that hole, which I'll do with the tweezer. Just keep your camera there, cuz you don't have to move the camera around.
You got your hand.
Well, I'll move it out of the way in a minute if I can get the damn thread through the hole. Son of a gun. Okay, let's try it with the left hand.
Ambidextrous.
Ambidextrous. Here we go. Don't need the tweezer. There we go. We're through that hole. Come around through the front. Grab the thread with the tweezer here. Pull it all the way through. And I take this thread. I hold this here, and I come around and I make sure my thread goes between these discs. Between the discs, and then through this hole out. So I'll take my tweezer, go through there, grab hold of it, I'll twist the machine facing you. You can almost see the sequence of steps. By the way, as I pointed out previously, there is a threading chart on the side of the cover, and there is also a blown-up threading chart in your instruction manual, and I believe that threading chart is on page 3, right here. So let's go back to continue the threading. We go through this guide here, and then there'll be a guide on top of the needle bar. I know I blocked it with my hand. There's a hole in the needle bar on top. Okay, you got there on the camera, Chris?
Yeah.
All right, just get it through the, there it is.
Beautiful.
Fantastic. You see what youth can do for you?
Show wing.
Okay, we're through the top needle bar hole. Next is this one. It's just a sequence or pattern of steps.
Not a hole.
That one follows the other. Just like love and marriage.
Beautiful.
Hello. All right, here we go.
I love my wife.
There we go. And now we come to our needle, and it's very important. And And we have so many people that put the needle in wrong or thread the needle improperly. It's a sin. So we thought to make life a little easier for them, we put a decal up here which shows that the thread goes in the needle from the outside in. And it also shows how the needle goes in, which it has the moon or the scarf facing the inside of the machine, just as it's shown on the front decal. More simple than that, we can't make it. The only other thing we can do in that case is to jump in the damn box with the machine and thread it for you. And sorry, we can no do.
Big box,
Big box. Okay.
a lot of freight.
So let's put a little light on the situation over here so I can see what I'm doing. Mark, can you still see what's going on?
I can say.
There you go. I don't care what his wife says about him, he's all right.
My kids love me.
Okay. There we go. And we leave a tail 5, 6, 7 inches. It doesn't make any difference. As long as it's not a short tail. So if you leave a short tail when you start to sew, it will pull out of the needle. Okay, boom. There we go. Our needle thread is done. We are finished threading our needle. And the next thing we're going to do will be our looper, or bottom thread. All right, here we go. This is our rear thread for our lower looper. And this is what takes the place of the bobbin, this humongous spool of thread. And you don't have to stop every 150 or 60 linear feet and change a bobbin or run out of bobbin in the middle of a carpet, because you got this thing with many thousands of linear feet on it. So we take this thread, and what I like to do is I like to double this thread. The code for this thread is S10, and it's available in a variety of different colors. It's not really important what color it is, because it's that thread goes on the bottom of your carpet, not on the top where it's viewable. So anyway, we go through the tunnel of love, this long tube, which lays right on top of your lower looper thread. Eventually you'll come out the other end if you paid your toll, maybe. Mother of mercy, get out there, brother. Making a liar out of me on film. Well, maybe I'll take the tweezer and just keep pushing it through. Really an easy way to, here it is, a really easy, quick way to do this, it's not that difficult, is to get a can of that can blow. You just put the little tube here and you, with compressed air, blow it, you put the thread in a little bit, shoots it right out the other end. That's if you're in a rush or if you get frustrated. Okay, now we've got our thread, and the next place or area we're going to is right down here into this hole, which leads to this tension. This rear tension disc has got a very mild tension spring on it, because there's not supposed to really be any tension on your lower thread. It's a minimal amount of tension. Basically, the only purpose this thing serves is to keep the thread from jumping around. So we go through this hole. We come over here, we pull the thread through. Then we're going to grab the thread and go in with it in between the discs, just like this here. Picked up with my hand here. Separate the discs. There you see it. Actually slip in between the discs, and then I'm going to go in that hole to exit, which will show you how easy it is, and it will also keep that thread from slipping out. Come over here. Oh, I'd like to double it again. I know I'm blocking you with my fingers. Come through here. Be easier with the tweezer, I guess. Let me turn the machine completely around towards your mark, okay? So you'll have a lot easier view with the camera, and it'll be easier for me to get to where I want to go. By the way, although I am threading the whole machine, when you receive your NC2000, both spools of thread are on it. The machine is already threaded. The only thing you have to do is put the rod on and center it over the spool of needle thread. Anyways, I'm through, and if you take a look, you can guess where the hell you're going next, because the next thing down there is a thread guide. So you're going to go to that thread guide. Then you're going to, once we get through that thread guide, there should be another one somewhere around. Let's take a look-see. Oh, here's the other one down here. So we're going to go from that thread guide to this thread guide. You know what I'll do? I'll take the spool of thread off the back so you can see more easily where we're going. And I'll even take this one off. so you can see more easily. This way you know if the thread is going to break on you. There's no way in God's creation it's going to break up here. It's going to break either right next to your needle or right next to the looper. So you'll never have to thread this whole thing except when you want to replace a spool of thread. When you get low, you can tie it, the thread, and pull it through. Okay, that makes everything more viewable and easier to get to. So here we go. We go through there. Then we're going to drop it right down here after we went through the other guide. And then when you drop it down there, you pick it up with the tweezer, like I just did right here. Pull it all the way through, and we go to this guide over here. To that guide, and then we go to our take-up here in the back. You'll note that the take-up has two guide holes, one on this side and one on this side. What you have to do is go through them, both of them. Let's cut this long tail off here. Grab hold of the tweezer. The only catch is when you go through those holes, like I'm doing right now, you must slip this thread underneath that long skinny finger, which is called the take-up, like I just did now. The purpose of that take-up is to pull the thread off from the looper when the machine is sewing, so you get a nice loop and not a missed stitch. The take-up helps avoiding dropped stitches. Or pull off is what we call it. There we go. See, we want this thread underneath this take-up finger that I'm touching right here with the tweezer. As the machine sews, that take-up moves up and then down to pull the thread off. That's why it's important that this thread be underneath the finger, not on top like I have it now. If I have it on top, this take-up can't do a darn thing. So please remember, have it on the bottom. The purpose of that is to help it formulate a super nice looking stitch, minimizing skips. Okay, now we're going to continue on to get to the looper. And we're going to go through this little black opening here. You can see the tail of the previous thread in the way. What I'll do is I'll just remove it. I open this door, spring loaded, swing it out, pull this thread out of here, the old thread. I should pull the binding, that'll take it with it. And we'll come back here again and show you I'm going through this little black tunnel here. Here we go. And now we're going to come to the side view to do the looper. So pull the thread through, and Mark, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt this mama on its side so that you're comfortable and the people can see everything that's going on. Okay, we've come through this tunnel over here. I'll double my thread maybe, or just cut it short. Take the tweezer, come through here, then we're going to go right up to our looper, and we're going to go through the hole of the looper from the front and then pull it out through the back. But we can't get to that looper until we reposition the looper. So we go to turn the hand wheel, always direction of the clock, and we bring that looper all the way back to the end stroke. And now this hole that we're going to go through, which I'm pointing to with the tweezer, is readily available. Lay the machine down here like this, bring the light up here